back to House by Us.
As a beginners without much construction experience, can we build a Mediterranean stone wall with the help of ChatGPT/AI? Let's find out.
A little bit of a spoiler, halfway through we got a surprise that made us change a bit the direction. So stay tuned and let's get into it.
We done. Easy peasy.
These are the doodles. I hope you can picture it.
Well, most of you already probably know ChatGPT. It's like Google on steroids. Basically an interface in which you can type in whatever you want and it's gonna provide you with the answer. Let's test it out. Let's see if we can use it to build a wall. We submitted our first question and let's see the answer. Voila, after one prompt, I have planning and design here, having wall dimensions in mind, style. We're gonna go with a mortar. For our wall, we have materials, stone type, foundation material, tools needed, construction steps, from excavating a trench, building the foundation, with all the dimensions, laying out the stones, maintaining the slope, and then the capstones to finalize the wall. Next thing I want to know is, do I need to put any rebar into the wall itself, because the wall is about 1.5 meters? Let's see. Yes, we do need a rebar. Great. Okay, next thing I want to know is, do we need concrete foundations? Let's ask the master. Yes, since the wall reaches 1.5 meters in height, it is strongly recommended to use poured concrete foundations. So that's what we're gonna do. And then we have a detailed step-by-step guide on how to do it, from foundation planning. Now let's see how much material we need for the whole wall. And there it is, our material list with everything in details. Okay, that was actually awesome. We have everything we need to start with the project. And a disclaimer, we are not affiliated with ChatGPT or OpenAI in any way. This is just a test. So we need some garden hose for the mortar mix and concrete mix. Water is essential element. So we wanted to buy the cheapest hose, which actually was probably half the price of this one. But yeah, there's kind of an unwritten rule, don't buy the cheapest, it's gonna cost you more. And of course, every time we come to Bevex, Pau takes the opportunity to buy her tuna cans.
Of course, where else? Here, way cheaper.
Shopping cart full. We got some mineral water. Gotta keep the thirst down. Let's go see the two best things we bought. Follow me.
Second thing to go.
Okay, now let's buy the actual material, the mortar, the sand, cement.
Gabriel is asking if they could bring the material up to the village.
So as you saw me, I was checking with a little truck which could possibly transport our material. The thing is, it's too little for what we need, so it would need 2 rounds to go to our houses and back. But it's great that we already found a solution to transport the material today. So nice, that's sorted already. Well, almost. The truck is already there, loading the material. And we're gonna do 2 tours because it's a smaller truck. It's gonna cost us 100 euros. Perfect. A friend is also on the way. He's gonna help to transport the material because as you maybe already know, we cannot bring it all the way to the houses. So we're gonna do that quick and then we're ready to start pouring concrete.
There is our truck with our material.
The hill is really steep here, so let's see if he's gonna make it with all the material.
There he is. We were worried he's not gonna make it. thankfully we have a very good friend with us, and he's Mate, and he came to help us today because, as you can see, we have a lot of material and things to carry. So yeah, fala Mate.
Never, don't give up.
Last one and we go.
And that's done. While we're covering everything,
Не дай ти Боже, за кой достала ли една драка.
Yeah, odlično. So I try to give an update, but Frane is like a tractor in the background. You wouldn't hear anything. But what I wanted to say is, while we're covering everything, because tomorrow we're expecting maybe a big rain, we want to make sure that the rain doesn't wash off all the material that we just put here. So come see this. Frane, jel možeš pokazati?
Eto.
Samo da pokažem. These are a part of Frano's list of jokes. There's also local Dalmatian weather forecast. So here he has written all the sayings, all the old sayings that are forecasting the weather, that old people say, you know.
And the joke?
And the jokes are here. It says, you see, Vicevi by Frane Topić. Most of those are contain words that we cannot pronounce here or say on YouTube, or we're going to be banned and demonetized. So we better keep it just visual. Hvala, Frane.
We made it. How do you feel after
Yes.
all this loading?
Amazing. Tired, but I'm very happy how it turned out, because always this planning and purchase of materials can go wrong. But with ChatGPT, it was very easy. We didn't need engineer to count everything, calculate. ChatGPT that for us. But let's see. We actually need to build the wall and see if it did a good job. But actually, with the price of materials, it was quite on point. It said, if you remember, around 270 euros. It gave us a 10% buffer with the material. I actually took another 15% more over that, and it was 320 euros. So actually pretty cool. From one, there shall be two. This rebar is going to lay horizontally in two zones here in the foundations, and since the foundations are 60 centimeters wide, we need it to be 50 each, right? 5 centimeters from each side. Okay, now iron is ready. Let's lay it down, tight it.
We still need to do a few cuttings because the rebar doesn't go all the way down because of the big rock that is laying down there.
Now we're just doing the last thing, tying the pieces of the rebar, and then we're gonna go with the second zone, the rods, and then pour. We have our foundations ready to be poured. So we have the rebar in two zones. One is 5 centimeters off the ground. The other one is going to be about 10 centimeters off the top of the concrete foundations. We have our rods placed 50 centimeters off each other. And okay, the day finally arrived. Today we're surely pouring the foundations. We got everything set up and let's start.
We have a 30-meter hose that we're trying to connect to the water supply through this forest.
Boing, and let the water play. Like, na, na, na. I don't know how the lyric goes, but it's a good song. Anyway, we got ourselves water supply. Quick recap here to what we're doing. So according to ChatGPT, we should be mixing 1 to 6. That means 1 shovel of cement and 6 shovels of the gravel mix. Okay, and that's it. I can't believe we're done with this. ChatGPT was again on point. We spent around 10 bags of cement and mostly, well, yeah, 3/4 of gravel. Our mixer did very well. Now we need to give it some love, clean it good so it can serve us next time. Okay, so the day after we had a good night's sleep, and now we came here to first inspect our concrete, and it looks perfect. And also we're gonna start building the wall today. We're gonna do the first layer of stones. We actually wanted to do it ourselves, but the neighbor who's a stonemason, he didn't allow, so he he wants to start it with me to give me some advice and see how I go. So today we're working with different material. Cement is the same, but we're gonna use a lower gradation sand. For foundations we used a mixture of rocks, 16 to 32 millimeters, with the sand, and here we're only using the sand. What he's doing now is we're placing the 2 rods on each side of the wall, and then we're gonna tie a string through, and that string is gonna be our reference that our wall is straight. Having it on 2 rods like this parallel, then we can always lift it with each new layer of the wall. Concrete is still very fresh, so it's very easy to drill through it. It's like a butter. I wanted to do this wall myself, but now you can see how the master does it, and the stonemason with over 50 years of experience. I'm really honored and hope I learned something from him. As I said, he's a first door neighbor. He saw me here struggling and planning to do it my own. He said, no, I'm not gonna allow you. He said, at least I'll be here for the start of the wall, so I show you a little bit how it goes. So yeah, much appreciated.
And today I will be the camera person.
And the first stone is laid.
Opet. Ja.
Evo ću vam ovo.
Tako, ostavi i sad dolazi beton tu, a vam ovo sitnije, vam još sitnije. Evo ovako ovo sitnije.
So now you have a great representation of how it goes in the layers. So the first layer, the nice stone facing forwards, and then we have a rebar. We're connecting the stone to the rebar. Then we have 5 to 10 centimeters of filled mortar, and then the behind smaller rocks, which are not so nice. They're not 10 out of 10 to go forward. We're placing them backwards to provide the additional stability, and then we have the drainage, which obviously we're not putting mortar in because that drainage is to allow for water to pass through. He's very brave. He's working without gloves and everywhere it's glasses. Old school. He says he doesn't. There's no original nail on his fingers or toes. They're all been broken at least once. We're running the string only until there because we're only going to have a straight wall to that point, and then we want to curve it gradually to connect it with these 2 big rocks, which we plan to leave. Quick interruption, our Frane is back, so we need to hear a joke to give us some strength to continue.
Hoćeš ići silo.
He found the asparagus.
Uzmeš, to je zdravo, ne boj. Muči Ivan, Abdullah, muči. I vata, ja ljubim me sve.
They got into argument.
Evo ti, slušaj. Ruje, vek. You must shut up.
They got into argument. He wants him to go back because
you don't know speaking English. I know.
Kad pođeš gore, baš prirode, ja sam ono blago, onaj WC-inu rampu.
Ja nisam novinan čita. I know reading in the newspaper.
Ima ljudi koji su biliš.
He's bragging about the wall that he did and he is not acknowledging it.
A no, slušaj, Jure najio se pure, kaško mi je da gleda.
What do you say?
Two dudes trying to work, one comes, disturbs, make jokes, and then they get into a fight. What else can you ask for?
It's a typical Dalmatian thing. Frane is telling us a joke, a real life story where he was working as a chef in a hotel and he made a schnitzel. he made čekaj, stani Frane. And he made a fried schnitzel with a towel inside instead of meat. And then he gave it to a friend as a joke to eat schnitzel or fried chicken, but it was actually a fried towel. Šta kažeš, Frane? Jesi dobro to odradio?
Ej,
That's his answer. He's very happy about it. Pao is in charge of collecting the drainage, which seems like an easy task maybe, but it's actually exactly, it's definitely not an easy task. So much went behind already, you wouldn't believe. So basically she's doing this non-stop and we can hardly collect enough.
Moraš paziti da ne ispija. Da ne ostane pija.
You see how he set up his working station here to carve the rock? So, well, it's an old barrel that he found, and he fills it down with the rocks and then with the sand for a top layer, and that basically serves to, so he can put a rock, carve it, and it gives a bit of suspension from down, so when he carves, the rock stays solid and doesn't break in the place that he doesn't want it to break. Here you can see the progress so far of the wall. We started with the second layer here. Looking neat or what?
Yes. Very cool. Here we can already see how he connected the stones to this boulder here that we didn't want to take out, and that was exactly what we wanted to do, to incorporate the wool to the boulder.
I was asking Abdullah a lot of questions and he got pissed, and now he directed me to try to carve my first rock, and he's sure that I'm not going to be able to do anything with this rock to make it a nice face, but I think I will. Let's see if my ideas work. I want to have this as a face. I'll hit the face, and then I want to leave this, so somewhere where we need this shape in between two rocks, I would use this one, but let's see if that's gonna work. So I'm gonna cut the edges a little bit first. He said you're never gonna make a nice face and this rock to fit somewhere, but I did.
Hoće on govori, ali nema toga. Da vidi sljedeći.
Dobro. The expert says that it can fit there.
Bravo.
And the point is to make the shape so the fuga space in between is not too big. It's compacted, and also if you look from here, it stretches quite behind, so it's stable rock. We don't need to use a lot of cement, and it's gonna be stable.
Few more layers to go.
We're also installing now bigger pipes for water to pass. These are 10 centimeters, and we're putting 3 along the length of the wall. Okay, as we're closing the end, with the wall, I got an assignment to clean the material, the mortar in between the rocks. The one that already dry I can hit hard, and the one up that you see is still fresh. The last 2 layers I need to be careful with. But yeah, the point is to prepare everything for the material we're going to be filling in between the rocks. We call it fuga here. For the pointing, wherever there's a lot of mortar in between like this, I want to take it out on the surface and a bit deeper. And then also whenever there's a very tight space in between, I'm cutting the rocks a little bit so we can get an even pointing in between. Okay, so here we are. We're just missing probably another 30 centimeters and then the capstones. Cannot wait to see that. We're gonna let you wait for the next video in suspense to see the 100% finished wall pointed and clean. But yeah, it's already looking amazing and cannot wait to see what the final result is gonna look like. So as a conclusion, ChatGPT helped us tremendously in getting to know the basics of building a wall. It helped us a lot in buying the materials. The cost estimation that it gave us was very on point, and we could have probably built it with that amount of material that we bought. But then the surprise happened that our neighbor, the stonemason, came and helped us out. It was great help. So grateful that he came and stepped in. He didn't let us do it our own. He actually said he's just gonna help us to do the first layer at least, but then he ended up doing almost everything. And under his guidance, we did have to buy a bit more material than ChatGPT originally suggested, probably because he did the wall a bit wider. Yeah, very happy with it. Now we have a very sturdy wall. So here it is. The wall is almost ready. We're still missing about 30 centimeters to the top and the capstones, and we still need to point it. We're going to be doing that in the next few days, but it's already looking amazing and we're extremely happy. In the end, it turned out amazing. Now you saw the clash of technology versus 50 years of experience. And let us know your opinion. If there are any stonemasons or anyone doing construction, let us know down in the comments. We would love to hear from you. So thank you for sticking around and see you in the next video. Bye. Bye bye.